Alright, so Gen V Season 2 has released. It's up on Prime Video. You can go watch the first 3 episodes right now at the time this video should be releasing. And in this video, we're going to go over episode 1, 2, and 3 for Gen V Season 2. We're going to go over the most important plot points and just discuss about how I'm feeling about this season so far in these first 3 episodes. So first things first, I do want to say that Gen V Season 1, I think, is a masterpiece. I absolutely love Gen V Season 1. I love the evolution of the series as you watch through the episodes, because when you first watch, the first few episodes of Gen V, it's like, okay, this is a good show so far. It's a good The Boys spinoff. And then once you get to the later half of the season and watch that evolution take place, the show takes another step up to an entirely different level here. And because of that, I was extremely excited to see what they were going to do here in season 2, especially with the passing of one of their main actors in the series, which they do happen to address within these first 3 episodes. So we'll talk about that too. We'll go over that. But let's go ahead and start with episode 1 of Gen V Season 2. The title for this episode is New Year, New You, and it opens up with a scene of a scientist. He's pretty much in an experimental lab and things are going wrong for him. There's a breakout happening with these experiments that they're doing, and come to find out on, the badge, the name tag for this doctor that we're watching, his name is Dr. T. Godolkin. So, we come to find out that the university that these students are at, these soups are at, is actually named after him. So I'm sure that's going to tie into bigger plot lines down the line, but I did want to make sure that I mentioned that. And now let's go ahead and talk about Andre passing. Now, the character Andre Anderson, his father is in this show. We see a lot of him throughout these first 3 episodes. He's dealing with, the passing of his son, and I am happy that they went ahead and addressed it right off the bat inside of episode 1, because he was such a big character in season 1, such a big part of that original cast, that it's just sad to see Chance Perdomo pass, especially so early, right? This guy was only 27 years old at the time of his passing. I believe he passed away from a motorcycle accident in real life. So rest in peace, Chance Perdomo. I do want to make sure I say that before we move on with the rest of this, episode breakdown. And of course, spoilers for these first 3 episodes if that wasn't already obvious. But moving on, according to the series, Andre passed away from pretty much, he was stuck in this lab. He was trying to escape, right? They captured all the characters at the end of season 1, and he was pulling on this metal door. This is just from what the other characters are saying. We don't actually get to see this scene take place, at least in these first 3 episodes. He's pulling on the metal door trying to escape. There's something with his powers that cause some type of strain on his body, and it ends up being the reason he dies. That's at least, the reason the show gives us. We'll see if they change that later on, but his death affects a lot of the main characters, as it should, and kind of sets up a lot of the conflict that we're seeing in these episodes. Now, we pick back up with Marie Moreau. She is our main character inside of this series. We see this suit with these dog-based powers sort of tracking her for Vought. Vought is actively trying to find her. There's this political, war going on between the Homelanders and the Starlighters. They're making a very obvious call to real life politics happening, even with a lot of the rhetoric that they're using inside of this series. To be honest with you, I found it a bit corny. The Boys has always been known for this. They've always done this, but I thought it was just overly on the nose in these first 3 episodes in this season 2 of Gen V, to the point where it was past comical, and it was a bit cringe, to be honest with you. But nonetheless, it is sort of what this series is known for. So moving on, we have the dog Soup hunting down Marie Moreau. His powers are weird as hell. He's a bit creepy. He has a little funny scene with a dog that he sees. Weird as hell, right? Now, he ends up finding Marie inside of a hotel. Luckily, Starlight is there to save her. Starlight has a conversation with her, trying to get her to join pretty much like the revolution, right? Join the Starlighters in this political war that's going on against the Homelanders. Now, we get a scene where Marie Moreau beats up a bunch of Homelanders because they're sort of harassing somebody. She beats them up. It's recorded. The footage goes viral. And so she's even more on the run now. We have Jordan and Kate and our other characters looking for her. They end up finding her. And the big climax of episode 1 is Jordan basically kills Kate. At least that's what it leaves you to think at the end of episode 1. Now, moving on to episode 2, this episode is titled Justice Never Forgets. And come to find out, Kate actually survived the attack, all right? She's in the hospital. She survived. How? I have no idea whatsoever, because Marie Moreau couldn't even save her with her blood powers, where she is able to save people's lives constantly throughout the first season. But the hospital does save her. They patch her up. She's sort of in a bit of a coma-like state at this moment in the series. And then we get a scene where Marie Moreau is giving this TikTok apology to her fans, right? She's re-enrolling back into Godolkin University because all of the other characters around her are determining, hey, this is kind of the safest place for you, right? Because because Vought out of nowhere can just take her out if she is on the run. They could just get rid of her, but at the university she has this spotlight on her, so it's a bit harder to attack Marie Moreau. So she re-enrolls. We end up finding out that the current principal of the university was actually working at these underground labs, so Marie Moreau has seen him there and he's obviously seen her, so there's a bit of a conflict there, but they're choosing to work together for the greater good, we could say. And then we get what I think is the best scene in all of episode 2, and that is they pretty much put together all of these students, including Marie Moreau and Jordan, and they bring in this suit by the name of Victor. He's like this old Viking looking dude, very strong, right? Uses this giant weapon. It's sort of like one big, I don't know, hammer, sledgehammer, something like that. And he just begins brutalizing them, attacking them. It's a crazy as hell scene, extremely entertaining. The best part of this entire episode easily is pretty much this assessment that the principal put onto these students, but it results in a lot of the other students being put into critical condition, which I found shocking that they're just openly doing this to their students, but it is what it is, right? And then the main conclusion of episode 2 ends up being that Maria is this thing called Odessa. Now, I'm not exactly sure what this is after just watching the first 3 episodes. Marie Moreau herself doesn't even know what it is. They're calling her this secret weapon by the name of Odessa, so apparently she is extremely powerful. From what I'm seeing from like the previews of the next episodes, it appears to be that she has the potential to be stronger than even Homelander himself if she's trained up right, so maybe that's what it's alluding to. But yeah, that's pretty much episode 2 in a wrap, so let's go ahead and move over into episode 3, with this episode being titled H is for Human. And the reason they went with that title is because the humans are now able to enroll into Godolphin University. Now, we've seen this inside the initial trailer for season 2 of Gen V, and it's introduced here at the beginning of this episode, and we're even following like one main human. I'm not exactly sure of her name, I can't remember it right now, but there is a plot line going on with her where she's being harassed by the Supes, and that moves us over into Jordan and Marie progressing their relationship. We've seen, you know, the beginning, the antithesis, the genesis of this take place inside of season 1, where it seemed like they kind of liked each other, but in season 2 episode 3 that finally comes to fruition, and we see these characters pretty much hook up, get together, which becomes this whole complicated thing because Marie confesses her love to her, tells Jordan that she loves her, and then Jordan becomes pretty much an avoidant attachment style personality type, and she starts trying to make her way away from Marie Moreau. Now, we also come to find out that Jordan has now become rank number 1 at Godolphin University, so she's known as like the strongest Supe there, I guess. They're putting this spotlight on her, giving her all this money, brand new cars, giving her parent a brand new car, and Jordan seems to like a lot of what's coming with it outside of a bit of the weirdness that her fans are giving her in that moment. Now, the big conclusion of this episode is that Jordan essentially admits that she is the one that attacked Kate. Kate wants revenge for it, but she's having some trouble with her powers now that she got, you know, her skull cracked open. She's not able to access her mental powers, and because of it, she's sort of stuck between a rock and a hard place, because if she goes to report this and put it out to the news and everyone, she'd also have to say the part that she can't exactly use her powers, which makes her no better than the humans that are there, which of course under tyranny from someone like Homelander means you're no better than the humans if you're a Supe who can't access your powers. So he's never going to side with you anyway, right? He'll never side with her over Marie Moreau if she can no longer call herself a Supe. So that was interesting there. One more thing that I wanted to touch on inside this episode, again, I wanted to mention the human element storyline, right? We have this human character, she's sort of working as like a barista, and someone keeps putting up like this political poster on her barista stand. She has no idea who's doing it. She rips it down, looks away, looks back, and it's up there. It's just constantly happening. She's getting harassed by students coming up to her that are pretty much siding with Homelanders, because if you're a Supe, why would you not be siding with Homelander, right? And then we come to find out that it's pretty much a speedster putting these up. Now, that's pretty much the first 3 episodes wrapped up. I think it's been good so far, but not great. You know, I'm sitting at about a 7 out of 10 for these first 3 episodes. I haven't been blown away by anything I've seen yet. I think the show is definitely missing the presence of Andre. I really liked his character in season 1, and it's kind of having trouble finding its footing because it's kind of having to base its entire plot line on the loss of this character. However, I do like that we are including these shows more into each other, that being The Boys and Gen V. You know, all the characters are starting to cross over a lot more, so that's enjoyable to see happen here in season 2. I'm curious to see where else we go for the rest of this season, the rest of these episodes. I am hoping and praying that it continuously gets better as season 1 did, because like I mentioned, season 1 didn't start off magnificent. You know, it started off good but not great, similar to season 2. However, I think it was stronger than season 2, the start of season 1. But back to what I was saying, season 2, I think it still has room to grow. I think they could still do something interesting with this season. I am a bit worried for it, and I think the audience and the fans are too, because from what I'm seeing on Rotten Tomatoes, the critics are loving season 1. They're highly recommending it. It's sitting at like a 92%, but the audience score is sitting at like a 62%. So clearly, you know, split down the middle on the audience side. It's getting a mixed take so far, and I can see why. You know, I haven't been in love with anything I've seen yet. I'm going to keep up with these episodes. I'll keep up with the reviews, and we could just hope as The Boys fans, as Gen V fans, that the show continuously progresses amongst season 2. So yeah, a 7 out of 10 score for these first 3 episodes I think is a fair score. I'd love to know what you'd rate these first 3 episodes down in the comment section down below. Are you liking these episodes so far? Are you disliking it? Let us know all that down in the comment section down below. Any plot lines, important plot lines that I missed throughout this breakdown, make sure you comment that down below too. And if you don't know what we do here on Demigod ENT, we do anime, film, and TV based content. So if you're interested in any of this type of content, you're in the right place. Hit subscribe, hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. I'll catch you in the next one, guys. Peace.